Hey guys, welcome back to a new video, actually just in a co-working space here. So we're basically approaching a topic which is obviously probably very widely questioned of how does your country know about the offshore bank accounts? Essentially global tax reporting will be explained within this video. It's very simple. So most people assume that essentially offshore bank accounts are private, but in 2025, the reality is actually vastly different. Your government probably already knows about your offshore holdings or soon will, and in this video we're going to break down exactly how they know, what information is shared, and how to protect yourself legally. So the myth of offshore privacy is probably the first topic we're actually going to touch on here. And again, for decades, offshore meant secrecy, but those days, still exist, but not as much as they used to, right? So you have to be aware about this, especially if you are looking at going into the offshore world and setting up various structures X, Y, Z. So in the past, jurisdictions like Switzerland, the Caribbean, kept client data very confidential. Today, even so, called tax havens, as most people call them, are signing information exchange agreements under the global pressure and scrutiny which they are actually facing. Okay, so there's four main ways. That is the actual CRS, FATCA, that's for US citizens, voluntary disclosures, and data matching plus AI. So starting with number one, which is Common Reporting Standard, otherwise known as CRS. Over 120 countries have signed on to automatically share bank account information of non-residents. Banks are legally obligated to actually report those balances, the interests, and the details of UBOs annually to their local tax authorities, who forwards essentially that information to the home country of that person of interest, right? So if you're a US person, you're going to be looking at FATCA, and that's every foreign financial institution is legally required to actually report your accounts under the IRS under this act as well. Again, there's also voluntary disclosures from whistleblowers, leaks that you have been seeing, such as Panama, Pandora, Luxembourg papers, whatever. These from law firms, advisors, and even bank insiders leak data. The government aggressively act on, right? And also journalists as well. All of these people could come together and release that data publicly, right, if they do get their hands on it. So again, immigration logs, Swift messages, property records, even Facebook can then be matched using AI to this financial data, and then tax authorities are using advanced data analytics to flag undeclared offshore wealth, right? So you might ask what is actually being reported, especially under the CRS, looking at the full legal name, tax residence, TIN numbers, account number, year-end balance, income generated, dividends, interest, etc. Even structures like trusts and foundations are not always immune, right? So if you're a settler or beneficiary, you're most likely reportable if it is in a CRS location. So examples such as the UK, EU, and the US. That's UK residents, so HMRC would be receiving data, the common reporting standards. And then offshore income must be declared, even if it's not been remitted in some cases. EU residents, countries like France and Germany, are very aggressively, very aggressive with the offshore audits. And again, in the US, these regulations apply with FATCA. And even if you live abroad, you must declare all those offshore accounts and file for an FBAR, which is an FBAR, if those accounts are over $10,000. So again, how to stay compliant. Being offshore doesn't mean that you're doing illegal stuff, right? It simply means you're probably being rather intelligent, in my own perspective here. So use structures with legitimate economic purpose, such as holding companies or investment platforms, XYZ. Don't hide the UBO. Don't be doing the proxy UBOs. Do it properly, structure it properly. Obviously, we can help you do that here at 4 Point Solutions as well. Work with jurisdictions that are CRS participating, but strong on data security. I've touched on these locations before, and again, you must be integrating with trust and foundation structures with proper legal opinions, which obviously we always do at 4 Point Solutions. We actually use a dual legal opinion at 4 Point Solutions. It can be quite lengthy, but again, it pays off in time moving forward. And use territorial tax systems such as UAE, Panama, Paraguay to legally reduce those reporting burdens. So again, if you're really interested in building global wealth, finding out more about this, please like and subscribe, and obviously please don't hesitate to get in contact with me below as well. So other than that, guys, over and out. It's a pretty nice message, a very important topic, and there we go. Hopefully I've gone and answered your thoughts and the information on how, how governments would know about if you have an offshore company, offshore bank account, XYZ.